From a trainee who owes his life to his safety gear, and a tree fire in Washington that knocked out power to this small town, and an EV fire in China that claimed a parking lot full of cars, here are electrical disasters caught on camera. According to the official report, the explosion was not caused by human error. Instead, the ceramic insulator around the switch they pulled had deteriorated in the cold. It shattered, causing the electrical arc and fire. On October 9th of 2019, everyone in the small city of Bellingham, Washington learned a valuable lesson about trees and power lines. It began when a local man noticed smoke rising from a tree in his neighbor's front yard. Seconds later, this happened. Based on the footage, we can assume the tree and power lines have coexisted for several years. According to the electric company, the insulation around those lines had weathered, allowing high-voltage electricity to arc into the tree. And while branches aren't good conductors, the water inside them is. The explosion caused a massive blackout across Bellingham. While one fire truck was dispatched to handle the tree, another raced to the scene of several locals trapped in a dead elevator due to the outage. Thankfully, the only damage was to the tree, and nobody was near or touching it when the electricity surged through. If they were, they would have been in for a real shock. Everyone remembers their first day on a new job. This Russian trainee would rather forget his. It was October 23rd of 2024. A new hire and his training supervisor arrived at a substation in the city of Sizran for what was supposed to be an easy training shift. Unfortunately, all of that day's lessons were learned the hard way.
Так, вкатить тележку V6 T2 в рабочее положение.
Вкатить тележку V6 T2 в рабочее положение.
Правильно выполняете.
Despite the fuse box exploding in his face, the trainee avoided severe burns due to his plastic shield and protective suit. Both men evacuated the area and watched helplessly as the trailer burned and the fire spread to nearby units. In the end, it took 4 trucks and 20 local firefighters to control the blaze. Russian officials ultimately blamed the explosion on a short circuit in one of the oil transformers. It's unclear if the trainee kept working in the business after this near-death experience. Would you? Jinan, China is a massive landlocked city and the capital of Shandong province. It's home to roughly 9.2 million people, including a family that'll never look at an e-bike the same way again. It was February 16th of 2024. A child was doom-scrolling on the couch while their parents finished chores around the house. That's when a sudden pop stole everyone's attention. Luckily, the parents cut the power to their apartment in time and doused the remaining flames with water before they spread. While no one was hurt, the explosion caused significant fire damage to the wall and furniture. China is no stranger to EV fires. That's why officials began tightening regulations in April of 2025 to ensure automakers complied with higher battery safety standards. Videos like these aren't good publicity for one of China's largest businesses. Dongguan, China is a prefecture-level city in the middle of Guangdong province. It is a crucial industrial city within the Pearl River Delta, where EVs are common among the locals. On May 8th of 2020, several EV vehicles were parked and charging in a Dongguan lot. That's when one of the batteries went rogue, leading to one of the worst chain reactions you'll ever see. It wasn't long before the fire engulfed the box truck and ruptured the brake lines, nearly turning it into a multi-ton runaway fireball. Unfortunately, the box truck wasn't the fire's final victim. Thankfully, nobody was in or near the cars when they burst into flames. That said, a handful of owners returned to the lot after work only to find the smoldering remains of their EVs. The fire was likely caused by a faulty battery in the first car. It's unclear how long it had been on the charger, though we don't believe overcharging was to blame. Modern EVs are equipped with sophisticated battery management systems that stop charging once a threshold is reached. Think of it like the automatic shutoff on a gas pump when filling a traditional car. It was April 22nd of 2012. A police officer in Yorba Linda, California, was stationary on the side of the road when he noticed something in the distance.
Something just exploded.
Were his eyes deceiving him, or did the sidewalk just explode? Concerned that something bad was happening, he raced to the scene where he found the guilty party. The explosion came from underground, and smoke was rising through a loose manhole cover. The officers kept their distance as they waited for the fire department. Unfortunately, none of them were equipped to handle what happened next.
I need you at code 3 here. We need all your balloons shut down. We have a firefighter down. Code 4, 2, and 13 is on code 3. 13 code 3.
Thanks to their protective gear, both firefighters walked away with only a few non-life-threatening injuries, despite one of them being thrown 10 feet into the bushes. They didn't know it then, but the initial explosion was caused by a short-circuiting electrical vault below the sidewalk. Think of them like small underground closets filled with thick, heavy-duty wires. These vaults help power urban areas like Yorba Linda, meaning a ton of power is rushing through at any given time. The explosion knocked out power to over 3,000 homes in the area, which was restored within a few hours after the proper crews could get into the vault and fix the problem. Prachinburi, Thailand is a small town roughly 90 miles east of Bangkok. It's home to about 25,000 people, including one man who will always cherish his late Christmas present from the universe. On December 26th of 2017, Mr. Manna was walking back to his car after chatting with someone at the local radio office. That's when he heard a strange buzz above his head and soon found himself running for his life. In slow motion, you can see the wire fall behind him, missing Mr. Manna by only a few feet. He's lucky he was far enough away when the wire exploded, as those sparks could have caused severe burns. Unfortunately, these failures are common in Thailand, where overhead cables and telecom wires look more like tangled black spiderwebs. In Bangkok, plans are in place to overhaul the cable infrastructure by moving much of it underground. Unfortunately, smaller towns like these could look this way for the foreseeable future. Every day, hundreds of thousands of people in the Philippine capital of Manila use the public metro system to get around the city. However, on July 20th of 2018, those living near the Quezon Boulevard station had to find another way to get around. Three tropical cyclones had just made their way across the country in mid-July. With them came powerful winds and relentless rain, which damaged homes and crucial infrastructure. The electric cables above this metro station couldn't withstand the storm and short-circuited several days later. Luckily, nobody was standing below when they exploded and caught fire. Brockton, Massachusetts is a large city in Plymouth County, roughly 23 miles south of Boston. It's home to over 100,000 people, including one local man who may have saved his neighbor's life. It was October 27th of 2021. An overnight nor'easter had brought powerful winds to Brockton, strong enough to knock over trees and power lines. A low street when this one broke out over 2 miles away. According to the chief, it was a busy night for fires and outages across the city. The October nor'easter knocked out power for roughly 500,000 people in southeastern Massachusetts that day. While you enjoyed this video and want to see more just like it, be sure to click the link on screen now. With that, thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one.